Good evening. Welcome in to another episode of JDizzle, Spine Tizzles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you've had an awesome day. Today I want to look at a film that I very much have a huge soft spot for, that a bit of nostalgia for. Quite an early horror flick that I did watch on DVD, Hide and Seek. Robert De Niro and Dakota Fanning star in this perfectly acted spooky tale that made a massive impression when I first watched it at the age of 13. Definitely a gateway horror for me. David Calloway is grieving for the loss of his wife, who has just committed suicide. He is left to raise his 9-year-old daughter Emily, who is left emotionally scarred and speechless. They move away from the city and into the autumnal bliss of the woodlands in an attempt to revitalise and begin again. Emily begins to tell her father of her interactions with a man named Charlie, who David rationalises as her imaginary friend. But as a looming threatening presence falls over their house and strange violent acts happen around them, it becomes clear that Charlie is very much real and he wants to play. I've rewatched this film twice this Halloween, and there's just something about it that's genuinely creepy at points. Performances all round the board are just wonderful. Dakota Fanning really showed the world how great of an actor she is. She at such a young age. The year before Hide and Seek was released, she starred in the bubbly family comedy and severely unfairly criticised The Cat in the Hat. Then, of course, psychological horror Hide and Seek that we're discussing tonight. And then the same year as this was released, she starred in Steven Spielberg's version of The War of the Worlds. Again, she transitions perfectly from happy innocence to traumatised and shell-shocked within the first 10 minutes of Hide and Seek. Such a range, even just from such an early age, it's incredible. Around the age that I saw this as well, I had only really seen Robert De Niro previously in comedies like Meet the Parents, and then Hide and Seek, along with Goodfellas, which I watched around the same time as Hide and Seek. His performance is amazing here also, although perhaps it's not quite as iconic and as in general in film culture. I still think his performance in Hide and Seek is brilliant, and you completely just buy into his character. It's a great cast all round, with Famke Janssen and Elizabeth Shue also in key roles here, two other fantastic actors in pretty much everything that I've seen them in so far. The music here by John Ottman, who had previously worked, funnily enough, with Famke Janssen on X-Men 2, the crocodile classic Lake Placid, you've got the Stephen King adaptation Apt Pupil, and the arachnophobia-themed dark comedy Eight-Legged Freaks. The man's just an incredible composer. The theme of Hide and Seek, I think, is one of my all-time favourite horror themes. It's so eerie and just legendary, in my opinion. I think it's a real work of musical bliss. The opening titles with the ultra cool, scrawling, handwritten typography accompanies the intensity of the plot and the film perfectly. The jump scares and tension throughout the film as well. That John Ottman's score just comes back, and John Ottoman, got his name wrong before. His name's John Ottoman. He's a great composer. Somehow missed the second O there. I'm sorry. The twist in the film may be a little bit more foreseeable the more horror and thrillers you watch. Like I say, this was a film that I saw very early on in my horror fandom, so I just didn't see it coming at all. I can see why some people did predict it ahead of time. Interestingly enough, when looking into this, it was reported that Fox, who distributed the film, only shipped reels of the film without the final reel to cinemas. They had the final reels hand-delivered by security guards to the cinemas, so as to avoid any spoilers of the ending getting around before people could see the film upon release. I think this should be done more often, in my opinion, especially in the current climate that we have, when spoilers are getting increasingly hard to avoid before the release of a film. I know my good friend Adam has said he's basically seen the entirety of the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films just on people uploading stuff on TikTok about it. And it's not cool, like it shouldn't really be that way. Hide and Seek is available to rent or buy on Amazon Prime now. You can also buy a physical copy quite easily, either online or at your local shop. I hope your local shop has it. Go and support the physical shops as well. I think it's an underrated horror flick for sure. Let me know what you guys think of Hide and Seek. Did you enjoy it? Do you think it's a load of rubbish? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow for some more Tizzles of the Spine variety.